down today.
We're proud to shut you down today.
Hey, FERC, what do you say? Hey, FERC, are we losing our temper?
Uh-oh. That person needs a traffic ticket.
To find out that FERC, the courts told FERC to do something about what happened on the permitting, and FERC does nothing. FERC don't have respect for the courts. But I have to respect the courts every day. Every citizen have to follow the rules of this country, but the federal government can't follow their own rules when the court tell them to do the right thing. It is sad. In other words, the people have to follow the law and the government do whatever they want to do. So when the government sit back and say, oh, this is going to be good for your community, is a lie. Come to Freeport, Texas. Come to Port Arthur. Go to Lake Charles. Go down to Brownsville. Go to the Permian Basin and look at every last one of those cities and tell me, is these industries helping our communities? They don't live in our communities. They don't care about our communities. It's all about money. And when we use our police to protect buildings, when they're out to serve and protect the public, they can't protect the public. They quick to throw you in jail. But these people here is killing people left and right and children. Genocide on the Gulf Coast by my own government that I served in 1979 as a soldier to defend my constitutional rights and defend my country. And my country is the first one to put my children in the ground. God bless you all.
And the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals on August 6th canceled the FERC permits for the Rio Grande LNG project, the Texas LNG project, and the Rio Bravo pipeline. So that's a legal victory that sets a good precedent, but FERC is still allowing, through their inaction, they are allowing Rio Grande LNG to continue the destruction of precious wetlands and sacred lands, lands sacred to the Carrizo Come Crudo tribe. The FERC could, right now, pick up the phone and tell the company Next Decade to stop their destruction of the land and halt their project because they do not have a permit. Their permit has been canceled by the D.C. Circuit Court. But FERC has not told them to stop, so they have not stopped building. They have not stopped destroying the land. So how do we as people who fight back do everything right and actually win a case at the appellate court, and still these companies are allowed to destroy our environment and our lands? What are we going to do when we actually win and the government allows all of this destruction to continue? I'll let you know. The government wants us dead for their money. Remember that and fight like hell for your lives and your families.
I'm here this morning from Southwest Louisiana, a town called Sulphur. Now, I've already stated that apparently FERC can't see and they can't hear, but clearly they can't smell either. Because I brought FERC to Southwest Louisiana, and the first thing you smell in my community is ripe eggs. But clearly they couldn't smell that, because after they came to my community and they smelled those ripe eggs and they smelled all the chemicals, they still came back and gave Commonwealth a permit. How could you do that? So clearly they can't hear, they can't see, and they can't smell. But not only that, they must not have any empathy or sympathy, right? Because not only did I bring them to the community to smell these things that I deal with every day, but they met some of my children who have health conditions like asthma and eczema. They met other community members who have cancer, and yet they came back and they approved permits for these facilities in our community. So I've come to the conclusion that if FERC can't see, hear, smell, or have empathy or sympathy, it must not be a person. It must be a machine.
In your teeth, you're dotting your I's, and you're missing the point. The point, the scientists have been trying to tell us for decades, we can't have any more fossil fuels. You haven't even considered greenhouse gases until the courts are making you do it. You have to lie to your grandchildren when they ask you what you did to help us avoid catastrophe. The world is burning. You need to get your act together. Stop this madness. Stop the fucking madness.
Counties are in distress. Our governor has called an emergency. You must take this seriously, you bastards! You are killing the environment and killing the planet and killing the planet for my friends.
Okay, and also I want to say,
I think these disruptions are kind of rude because the public clearly wants to fast track LNG. They want to speed up climate change to have a warmer world. I mean, we're tired of cold winters, right? We want more LNG so we can have more climate crisis. Also, we want LNG plants to make people more resilient, right? So people can have chemicals, get cancer and asthma, have more resilient bodies, be prepared for future illnesses, no matter their race, no matter their age. We want everyone to experience the chemicals of LNG, be stronger for future pandemics. So I think LNG needs to happen. We want more chemicals and a warmer Earth.
thinking outside the box.
All right, so speaking of scaling up, as a K-12 teacher, I have two tasks: to empower my students through education and to protect them. Today I stand here to protect them from climate change, and it is not just a future problem for our students, it is a now problem for communities all over the world. We see devastating storms, floods, and droughts. Shame on you. Raise your hand as a teacher here if you have a school-aged child. Raise your hand, please. All right, no one's raising their hand. I see you out there. Yeah, I see you. We stand here. I stand here for them, for all the teachers around the world who fight for their students every day, whether it's gun violence, whether it's climate change, you're all the same. Shame on FERC. Shame on FERC.
Texas, I am a native Texan. We do not want the Daylight Express pipeline. We do not want the Rio Grande or Texas LNG terminals. We do not want fracking. They ruin our groundwater. Most Texans do not want it. Our oil and gas company do not represent Texas. I'm 68 years old. And how many of you people are about 30 years younger than me? How are you going to live in this world? How can you remain silent? Your bosses are allowing you to die in the future, okay? Really think about that, all you people that are quiet. And we're doing this for you because the world's going to be a hellhole in 30 years.
The courts have already found that you're climate deniers, that you haven't done any environmental studies, that you've impacted the people of the Gulf Coast and other communities by just rubber stamping everything that the oil and gas industry wants. And if you love your sons and daughters, don't make them live underwater. If you love your sons and daughters, don't make them live underwater. You won't escape climate change. You won't escape climate.
That's your job, protect the public interest. Are you doing that? You're not doing that when you rubber stamp pipelines, LNG facilities. I'm here for my grandson. I'm here for all children, all future generations. What will you tell your children?
Possible as helpful so we can get the benefit of different perspectives on these nuanced issues.
You want different perspectives? You should stop silencing all of the people in this room who are trying to avert climate catastrophe. This is a climate emergency. Every time you approve more fossil fuel infrastructure, you are putting fuel on the fire. You are poisoning communities. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Why? Why can't you stand up to these companies? All they care about is profit. They don't give a shit about you, and they don't give a shit about any of us or the planet. All they want is money. You're complicit. Stop burning down our futures. Stop poisoning communities. Stop burning down our futures. Stop poisoning communities. Stop burning down our futures. Stop poisoning communities. Stop burning down our futures. Stop burning down our futures.
Diving into the Commission's work over the past month has given me even a greater respect for the importance of the work we do and enthusiasm for the task.
Stop hurting our children! Stop hurting our children! Stop hurting our children!
This is agonizing for us to see. We're right at the throes of life and death in this building. Assuring a pipeline means that there is damage for years to come. Our children are suffering. I'm an expert on the psychological damages. I have done studies now of 26,000 children. They're angry, they're in despair, they feel abandoned, they are bewildered. Why the adults in the room do not recognize how much they're suffering.
UnFrack FERC! UnFrack FERC! UnFrack FERC! We shall not be moved like a tree that's planted by the water.